Hey guys, welcome into the Pug Reborn channel. We are back with the top 5 named weapons of the week. If you submitted a weapon, thank you so much for that. Of course, I only can get 5 in at a time, so there's always next week. You can always submit at least one weapon a week, and in the description below it'll tell you how to do that if you want to submit a weapon. And then of course I give my shout outs to everybody who does submit the weapon. So yeah, we don't have any honorable mentions today. However, I will say one last thing. There has been a massive influx of two-handed maces going through. They are amazing and I can't deny that, but I can't let it win every single time on the top 5. However, this week we had a this week is going to be a hard one to beat going forward. It is really good. So nonetheless, guys, let's dive in to number 5. Number 5 is the Heartwig, the Outcast Penetrator. It's going to penetrate your skin and then into your lungs, and then you're gonna cough up some blood, and it's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. No, but so for real, guys, this is an awesome crossbow. It is a lightweight, smaller in hand crossbow that does a great deal of damage. Thank you, HM Dante, for this one. Of course, I will say, you know, when I look at this weapon, there is as much as it doesn't have like your core inner percentages getting a boost, the actual damage is phenomenal. You're going with your normal heavy crossbow, you're looking at 50 to 70 damage. This thing gets a 14 off the baseline jump, so it's 64, and then of course on the top end you're looking at 89. That is 19 extra high-end damage. Now with the mastery perk with this thing, it's just going to do even more damage, at least for getting into the armor. And that's really the name of the game here. I wish as the Outcast Penetrator it would be nice to see the ignoring armor go beyond 50%, but 50% with a crossbow with that damage is fantastic. On the low end, I mean, like if you roll a 89 damage and you get 50% of that damage, you're over 40 freaking hit point damage. That is amazing. And even on the low end, you're still looking at 15 to 30. It's still great. So, yes, on top of that, you still are also getting that extra. So, like the fatigue of the heavy crossbow at 12, now this thing is 7. Like I said, it's just a smaller, pretty much pull it out of your pocket and shoot them right in the face. Beautiful. Thank you for the submission. Definitely worth number 5. Number 4. Number 4 is Empire's Madness. Now, I gotta tell you guys this. I love gold, and when I see a Khopesh and I see gold and I see just fantastic damage, and you start talking about being lightweight, oh boy, you can just throw this in the wind. It's gonna boomerang back and chop a head off. That to me sounds pretty dang sweet. I want to thank Nami DKaya. I am terrible at pronouncing names. Nonetheless, guys, this weapon is so succulent. I gotta tell you guys, personally to me, the Khopesh is one of my favorite weapons in the game. It's like a template cleaver weapon. I don't like the military cleaver compared to in general, but when I start looking at like a Khopesh, it's literally, I've always looked at it as like, it's not a named weapon, but it feels like a named weapon in comparison because of the effectiveness against armor. And when you look at like a normal Khopesh at 10 max fatigue, this Empire's Madness, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. Your maximum fatigue is at -7 compared to 10, so you're getting an extra 3 off of your max fatigue in general. So what's really cool about having the Empire's Madness is you could throw it on a lightweight brother who, let's just say for instance, because gladiators have the 3 different, the trifecta of awesome. So like if you're talking about the Viper, for instance, that gladiator, he doesn't want to have, if you're building him out nimble, this is a great weapon to be able to switch out with his Cuddle Dagger. And so that's one thing that's really great about just the Khopesh in general with this Empire's Madness. Now, where it really gets its boost, and I think we all can agree on this, is the damage, okay? That was just a little tidbit of what I like out of the Madness. The real madness comes from the damage inside of the weapon. No, it's on the outside. But nonetheless, the normal damage for a Khopesh is 35 to 55. This thing is pumping out a 10 increase on the base at 45 to 70 freaking 1 That's 16. 16 extra top-end damage on a Khopesh. Now, if you're dueling, if you're being a duelist with this thing, of course it's going to be Empire's Madness. If you've never gone out and made a Necker Savant-like brother, then you're missing out. This is a Necker Savant-like weapon, and I almost said I can't wait to use it. I'm not going to be able to use this. But no, seriously, great job on this one. Definitely worth number 4. Number 3. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys, I am shocked that there wasn't a submission sooner like this. Ancestors Gasher. Why do I say that is because technically, yes, this is a named weapon. It's not a legendary weapon that comes from the Mad Barbarian. I love this Ancestors Gasher. I'm making all these like movements and stuff that you can't see, but I'm telling you, like, this is an amazing blade. I have always loved the Rusty Warblade in general. I mean, if you can get that early on, you can just cut up just about anything in the early game. But when you start getting into the what makes this thing tick, it's the ignoring armor, it's the pure damage in between. It's so stinking good. Now, this weapon in general, actually, before I do that, I want to give a shout out to Wall. Thank you for this submission. When I saw it, I was just like, yes, I want to carve up a piggy and roast it. No, but for real, the damage. Let's start with the damage and work our way up or down. So the damage itself on a normal Rusty Warblade is 60 to 80. This bad boy gets a 10 jump to 70, and then goes all the way up to 94. Now, I know that the margin can get even higher than that, but that's only a complementary jump to what's next. The 51% ignoring armor is so good, so good. Again, another 16% jump. It's so, like, it's insane. You're literally taking, you have the potential of getting 51% of 94, almost 100. So you're looking at about, you can get up to 47 or 46. Gotta make sure I'm getting my math right, but you're right in there in terms of damage on the tie-in. You never know when you're gonna hit something and when you're gonna get like that insane damage into the health, but this weapon does it. And let's just get into the real nitty-gritty about it. Why are cleavers so good? Cleavers like this get a big boost when you have the cleaver mastery. Being able to proc a 10 bleeding on a character, and you can do it twice, with two shots, and getting into the health or getting into the fearsome perk, because it's not about the fearsome perk every time, but man, this thing just does so much. It's just a little seasoning on top, and I don't know, like I said, it's a fantastic weapon. You could throw this on anybody and make them effective early on. If you're facing the Mad Barbarian late and you get this weapon, it's still gonna it's gonna carve up whatever you need it to carve up. So very good, very, very good weapon, Wall. Congratulations on this one. Number 2. Number 2 is the Sir Theo's Giant Mace. It's so big and so brown, and so actually it's got an interesting tip. Listen, don't mix my words. The point is, this thing is a massive mace. It is fantastic. It'll absolutely take all the insides out of the stomach and onto the floor. It will break every bone in your body. It'll make you cry and scream uncle. I'm just saying, it's a fantastic weapon. Thank you, Catnip Clover. Now let's get into why this thing is fantastic. I don't know that I need to, oh man. If you're new to Battle Brothers, just look at the difference between these two and tell me if you can spot the key difficulties or the key fantastic sprinkles of life on this thing. You look at the damage and you notice that it goes from 75 up to 98 on the base, on the freaking base. I don't know why the mace is so dang, like, the upgrades you get for a mace can be just astronomically insane. This thing can either make it as practically a hammer, a war hammer, or it can be like a barbarian weapon. It's just absurd. So you're looking at 98, which is 23 extra from the bottom, and then you go from 95 up to 123. That's 28 on the top end. I just don't understand it. It's just absurd, guys. It's just absurd. And this could easily have been number 1. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. But here's the next thing. Then you're talking about ignoring armor. 60 freaking 5. Catnip, do you realize what you've done? You've made an amazing weapon. I'm just joking, you didn't make it, but you definitely better use it. Because, yeah, if you can take any of that 65% out of 120 freaking 3, or even 98, oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. It's literally just absurd. This is an absurd weapon. It's fantastic. And one reason why I can't have them on the channel as much anymore, because it's getting out of hand, guys. And congratulations. This is definitely worth number 2. In fact, in different weeks, it could have been number 1. Very, very good. Number 1. Number 1 is the Barbarian Chosen's bill. Why? Because when you put a ram head on the end of any weapon, you can make it insanely strong. I highly suggest doing this with even a sword. It's going to work perfectly. No, this is, okay, I'm going to botch the name, but Gintum, I think is how you say it. So Gintum, congratulations on this weapon. I don't care who you are. I have played this game for a copious amounts of hours, and this weapon right here is so much fun. I have almost an identical hammer like this. And I went against the Ratchetgeist with this bad boy and just devastated him. Why? Because number 1, you're already getting a massive damage boost to the armor itself at 180% of that damage. Now you might say, well, that's not that great. Okay, with the mastery, it is great. And with the ignoring armor, it's even greater. Okay, so let's just start with the base because I'm going all over the place. So damage on the normal two-handed skull hammer is 45 to 65. This thing gets an increase to 58 on the base. That would be 13 extra damage, and then you're going up to 83, which is another 13. No, hold up. My math is definitely wrong. No, that's much more than that. That would be 18 extra boost. So like 18 extra damage is beautiful on this weapon, but it doesn't stop there. Instead of going into the armor and just saying, hey, you know, obviously we're going to chunk away armor pretty quickly, this thing gets a 74 ignoring armor. That is bonkers, okay? You're basically going from you're going from 60 ignoring armor to 74, but this 74 is, oh man, it's just so absurd. Like the damage you're doing all the way around. You have to look at it from the optics of every spectrum of damage. You're getting into the health, you're getting into the armor, you're gonna just absolutely tear down whatever's in front of you faster than anything else. Now yes, that mace, just to reiterate, from the mace to this, you can get the AoE and do that solid damage across the board on a sweep. I have done absurd things. I think one of the best weapons in the game is the Barbarian's weapons in this case, because of the overall everything you're capable of doing. I'm so glad this was submitted. When I saw it, I was like, that has to be in here. It just has to. So good. And yeah, I am just gushing over it. Please, if you guys get a chance and you see a Barbarian Chosen and you can steal this weapon from them, somehow get this weapon, somehow win the fight, get this weapon. Don't be caught up on the damage itself, looking at 58 to 80 or 83. I know you can look around the spectrum of the board and still say, you know, that's better, this is better, whatever. Give it a shot. I guarantee it'll exceed your expectations. So anyways, guys, hopefully you did like that. Thank you for coming out to the channel. Please hit the like, subscribe, share this content if you can. Let people know that this is existing here, okay? And if you want to add a weapon, just check out the description below. It'll tell you how to do so. I've tried to get back to people as quickly as possible, and then when I do air the episode, I'll let you know as well. Thank you for coming out to the channel once again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!